UFC Austin. Kattar versus Emmett goes down this Saturday. Well, tomorrow. Here we are, all the way up at Friday already. Hope the audio is okay. What's going on, guys? Love this fight night, man. This is the best free card we had in a while. I feel like the free cards have just been loaded with a lot of bad fighters. Let's be real. And this one's got a lot of gems on it, and I'm excited to talk about these fights, man. Let's just dig right into it. Well, firstly, last week I did have another winning night. So the winning bets I had, Weili Zhang was the big one, won 3 units on her. Kyung Ho Kong cashed on him at plus 129, and then I lost 2 units on Glover Teixeira. Wins inside the distance, obviously. That was well worth taking the shot. It just did not happen to come through. Props to the new champ, Yuri Prohashka, for taking it down. Chronic Combat. I don't know if that's you, Guru. I have a feeling that's you based on all the exclamation points, but I appreciate you hopping in here, man. What's going on? So that was last card. We're on a 2-card win streak. Feels good. Let's make it 3, man. I got 3 bets for this card already. I'm looking at a couple other spots, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think this card is loaded. I think there's tons of dog spots, and it's funny I say that there's a lot of dog spots because I'm actually going against one of the most popular underdogs this week. I do have a chalk bet. Actually, I got a little bit of chalk on this card, but I'm looking at some dogs too. You know, I don't discriminate. I like the dogs. I like the favorites. I just want to bet wherever there's value, man. Appreciate that, Guru. I know that's you. Man, so let's I think that's all I gotta get into it with you guys, really. I mean, it's time. So how many fights do we got on this card? Let's see. I think this is like another 14 fight slate. Those are always nice, especially for DraftKings. So of course I go over to Tapology, and it's the PFL event that comes up. But I'm excited for PFL. Are y'all excited for PFL? You guys got any bets for PFL? I thought pretty hard about betting Clay Collard, but I think I'm just gonna chill out tonight, watch the fights as a fan, but should be a good PFL card. So I'm trying to pull up the UFC card. Man, we got some stacked cards coming soon. How about Sarukian and Gamrot next week? So here we go. We do have 14 fights. Of course, that's always fun for DraftKings. Speaking of DraftKings, I won a GPP, y'all, last week in the $3 contest. I took first, but I tied with 9 other guys, so I only won like $1,700. But hey, man, that's off a $3 lineup, it doesn't get much better than that. Ohio State, I appreciate you, bro, always being in here. Yes, sir, it is Ismagulov week. I can't wait to get into that one. So let's start at the bottom of this card, man, and we're starting off with a bet. So we got Kyle Dawkins. He's taking on Roman Dolidze. Kyle Dawkins minus 270 now. So the money is coming in on Kyle Dawkins. Roman Dolidze, you can get it plus 230. I like Kyle Dawkins in this fight. I threw him in a parlay. I actually have him in 2 parlays. I made 2 parlays this week. So the first one is a 2-legger, and the second one is a 3-legger with the 2 legs from the first one plus an additional guy. That one's for 1 unit. But yeah, there's 3 parlay legs on this card I feel really good about, and Kyle Dawkins happens to be one of them. Overall, not a big fan of Roman Dolidze's game. I think his cardio is suspect. I think his fight IQ is suspect. The volume is low. Now, of course, I'm going to say some good things about him as well. He hits extremely hard. I like how calculated he is on the feet. Like, yeah, it's low volume, but he makes his shots count. He's smart about the shots he does throw. I'll give him that. It can just be really low volume at times, and it can be slow at times, but like he's precise. He's precise and he's powerful. So Dawkins has to mind his P's and Q's for sure. When it comes to the grappling, like I think both these guys have excellent jiu-jitsu, but where I give Dawkins the advantage is just the dumbass shit from Roman Dolidze. Like you watch that Trevin Giles fight, it got real sloppy on that mat, man, and Trevin Giles. I like Trevin Giles as a fighter, but I personally rate Kyle Dawkins' jiu-jitsu a little higher. And there were some opportunities there where Trevin Giles, he almost had a Darce choke on Dolidze. And man, I could see Kyle Dawkins with his long ass arms snatching up that Darce. Like I feel like there's going to be spots here where it's scrambly early on when Dolidze has a full tank of gas. It's going to be real competitive, but as the fight kind of goes on, Kyle Dawkins is going to win those scrambles more and more dominantly as it goes on. If he wants to keep this fight standing, I think that's a solid idea too. Like he's going to have the volume. He's probably got the better hands, man. I think Kyle Dawkins' boxing has come a long way. That's the training with Big Bro there. We all know Chris Dawkins. He's a real good boxer. Of course, he's fallen on some hard times, but like we can all admit, Chris Dawkins is a good ass boxer. So just to have that relationship with his brother, who's a ranked UFC fighter, I believe. Obviously, that's great. But yeah, all in all, I mean, I feel like as long as Kyle Dawkins avoids the knockout shot, he doesn't get caught with some stupid sub. I don't see the heel hook happening. I know Dolidze goes for these heel hooks. I just think Dawkins is too. The defense is going to be on point. I feel like he's completely ready for whatever Dolidze has got for him. And as the fight goes on, he's going to get a dominant enough position on the mat. And I'm going to pick Dawkins to win by submission here in the second or third round. Moving on to the next fight. This is another one, guys. We got Phil Haas. He's minus 265. He's taking on Deron Winn. He's plus 225. I think this one is a little bit less popular than my last one. I see a lot of people on Deron Winn, and like, man, I've been trying to fade Deron Winn his whole UFC career, man. My thing is you cannot be that short and be at the 185-pound division. Yes, he has won some fights. He's won fights against Eric Spicely, where, I mean, Eric Spicely is a complete punching bag. Then he went on to lose 3 straight. And then he just bounced back in his most recent fight against Antonio Arroyo. The thing about Antonio Arroyo is actually, I think he might even be like a BJJ brown belt or a black belt. But the thing is, like, he can't stuff. He can't get up. He's not good from his back. When it's him in the dominant grappling positions, great. Arroyo will tap you, but I mean, that was just around Win City. There was literally zero resistance from Arroyo, and it was embarrassing. Now here against Phil Haas. I know Phil Haas has the takedown defense for this guy, man. Phil Haas, let me double check this before I say some crazy shit, but I'm pretty sure Phil Haas has 100% takedown defense in the UFC. If it's not 100, it's pretty damn near fucking close. Phil Haas takedown defense 100%. He is a D1 wrestler. This guy's a high level fucking wrestler. And he's strong as hell too. Like, I mean, is this dude Deron Winn really about to take down Phil Haas? Like, I feel like there's a reason this line is very wide. Is like Phil Haas should be able to stuff those takedowns. If not, like he can work his way back up to the feet. Like, you see how strong and explosive he is? You think a midget is about to keep down a D1 wrestler? Like, it was all good and fun against fucking Arroyo, but like, man, this is a step up. The thing with Phil Haas, and it sucks. He's a very talented guy. All the physical attributes. It's his chin. Like, he can't take a shot, man. Like, it's really bad. I know he's only taken 1 loss in his last 5 fights, but like, we've seen it. He's chinny. It's unfortunate. But the thing is, I do not believe Deron Winn is a guy that's going to be able to capitalize on a bad chin. I mean, you look at Eric Spicely. Eric Spicely's been knocked out, excuse me, like 3 or 4 times in a row now. Deron Winn couldn't get him out of there. You're telling me he's going to get out Haas? I don't know about that. I think Phil Haas is about to get Deron Winn out of there, man. Like, it's kind of a simple breakdown, but like, D1 wrestler, 100% takedown defense. He should be able to stuff, if not get back up to his feet, and he's going to put some fucking power on Deron Winn, man. So, I mean, yeah, Deron Winn, it's exciting. Like, that fight against Spicely was a war, but like, do you want to be going to war with Spicely? Like, he ain't about to get in no war with Phil Haas. He's about to get put down against Phil Haas. And man, if Haas happens to get caught in this fight, knocked out by Deron Winn, it's just, that'd be really unfortunate because I mean, there's not many holes in this guy's game other than his chin. Like the cardio was real bad at first, like back in the day in the Contender Series against Marquez and some other fights too. The cardio looked bad, but it's gotten a lot better, man. He's out here winning round threes in fights. He's winning decisions. I think he's kind of, and it's not that his cardio is bad. Like he's not like running his miles. He's not doing the proper things you need to do to have proper cardio. It's the way he's built, all that muscle, all the power he puts into his shots. I think he's learned to pace himself a little better. He's a little bit more mature of a fighter now. I like Phil Haas a lot, man. I think this is a good spot for him to bounce back. So I'm gonna pick him to knock out Tehran win in the second round. So we'll see how that one goes. So yeah, I got him parlayed with Kyle Dawkins at -105. And then I got those two in a 3-leg parlay with somebody that's in the next fight. So that's funny, man. The first 3 fights of this card is 3 legs for a 3-leg parlay. I threw Cody Stamann in there with those guys for 1 unit as well. It's -700 now. Wineland +450. I got in at -550. I mean, Wineland, we're going to talk about Donald Cerrone later. Wineland might be just as, if not more, washed up than Donald Cerrone. Wineland is out here losing to guys he has no business losing to anymore. Like, what's that Latin fighter's name that he got knocked out by? John Castaneda. So that was his last fight. Wineland was actually looking decent in that fight too. And then, boom, the chin. Eddie Wineland's gotten his jaw broken, I believe 2 or even 3 times before. He's taken some knockout losses. He's had he comes out here and beats some guys every once in a while, but it's going to end at some point. And Cody Stamann's a great fucking fighter, man. Like, I know he's not the kind of guy you want to think of when you want somebody to have knockout power to take advantage of your opponent's chin. Like Cody Stamann is, he's got that 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10 power. But hey, if there was ever a spot for him to finally get a knockout in the UFC, this would be it. But he doesn't need a knockout, man. He can absolutely win this fight by decision. Cody Stamann's a winner. So even being in the UFC for all this time and all the high level guys he's fought, I have a feeling Cody Stamann still has a really damn good MMA record. So he's 19-5. Eddie Wineland is 24-15. I mean, not that matters or anything, but yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of Cody Stamann. I mean, the boxing's there, the wrestling's there, the fight IQ's there, the cardio's there. Like he's really good he's really good everywhere. He's just not like elite anywhere. And against an aging fighter, he should be able to take care of biz. I don't have too much, explanation to do in a -700 favorite. I feel like y'all know the deal here. So yeah, give me Cody Stamann to possibly put Eddie Wineland into retirement. And man, it's sad to say, but I think Cody Stamann gets his, not sad for Cody Stamann's sake, but I think Cody Stamann gets his first UFC knockout here. I'm going to say it happens in the second round. Moving on to the next one, we got Maria Oliveira. She's +240 now, +245 now. This line is moving by the second. She's taking on Gloria De Paula, -290. I mean, this line seems off to me. There's a couple low-level chick fights on this card where the lines just seem off. I bet one of them. I'll talk about that later. I'm kind of looking at this one too. Like, Gloria De Paula does not impress me. So she fought Belbita in her last fight. If you know Belbita does not have wrestling, doesn't have get-ups. Belbita was able to stuff like 4 out of 5 takedowns against De Paula. She only got 1 takedown against someone who's super susceptible to takedowns. Now, you can say the same thing about Maria Oliveira, though. She was taken down on Contender Series by Marina Rodriguez, who's a striker. And then she was taken down 5 times against Tabitha Ricci. Now, granted, I'm pretty high on Tabitha Ricci's wrestling. I think it's a lot better than Gloria De Paula's. That being said, I don't know. You can't really trust the takedown defense of Oliveira, I don't think. Like, if De Paula comes out here, just looks like the more UFC experienced girl, throws in these takedowns, like I can't say it surprised me one bit if Oliveira just gets wrestle fucked for 15 minutes, possibly even tapped. I don't know. Um, thing is, I'm just not impressed with DePaula, bro. Like she couldn't even make it clear against Belbita. You know what I'm saying? So to bet her minus whatever the fuck minus 300, it's like, come on. I can't see that. Like this is a low level women's fight where there's so much variance. I feel like Oliveira might have her not covered on the feet, but she might slightly edge her. I don't know, man. Plus 245 is a big old number. And I don't know if DePaula is going to cover her big old price tag. So I don't know. It's hard to gauge how this fight's going to go. I kind of want to pick Oliveira just because that price is so damn wide. So, and then there's the thing where if I pick her as a plus 245, I'm going to feel obligated to bet her, but I don't know if I want to bet her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Give me DePaula by controversial split decision, I guess. Yeah. Moving on, we got Ricardo Ramos minus 278 taking on Danny Chavez plus 238. This is gonna be a war, man. That stare down was intense. Stare downs just happened like 30 minutes ago, by the way. It was pretty good shit. Last fight on Danny Chavez's contract for whatever that's worth. I kind of feel like this fight plays out a little closer than the line indicates. However, give me Hamosh here. I think he has the way higher ceiling. This guy's been in the UFC since he was like 22 years old. We saw how all of a sudden Jake Matthews, who also was in the UFC since he was like, well, he was in the UFC when he was like 19, 20 years old. But all that experience, like growing up in the UFC, that counts for a lot, man. And I feel like Ricardo Ramos might be entering his prime. He's got good striking. He's a long guy. He's got a good jab. He can kick. He's a decent striker. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend taking some power from Danny Chavez, that's for sure. But he can definitely hang there. But I think where he's gonna get the victory here is with the grappling. I feel like he should probably be able to take down Chavez and work the back, possibly rear naked choke, tappy. So, I mean, I feel like Ramos is definitely the way better BJJ guy here. I mean, you'd have to think so. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know Chavez takedown defense. Let me look at that again real quick. Some of these fights, guys, I looked into like 4 days ago. So Chavez takedown defense is 87%, but again, that's a 3-fight sample size. So I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not crazy about betting Ricardo at minus 300 here, but I'm gonna take him to win this fight by submission. I'll say 3rd round in a competitive fight. Moving on to the next one, we got the only closely lined fight of this card. Court McGee minus 116. He's taking on Jeremiah Wells minus 104. Is Court McGee going to do it again, guys? Like I'm such a big fan of this guy. He's almost kind of got that Glover Teixeira light syndrome where it's just he's aging like fine wine and he's taking out these younger dudes. Obviously to a lesser degree. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, Jeremiah Wells coming into the UFC. I was low on this guy because you watch the tape. It's not good. Like, and he's not a young prospect either. So, Jeremiah Wells, some of you guys are going to be surprised to hear this. Jeremiah Wells is 35 years old. He's 35 years old. How much of a prospect is that really? Like, I don't know. However, he does come into the UFC. He shows off some insane power. He shows off some wrestling. He shows off some jiu-jitsu. He belongs. Jeremiah Wells is a good fighter. This is a tough matchup for Court McGee for sure. I just think as the fight wears on, man, like if he can take the power from Wells early, he's going to do what he does a lot of the time. He's going to take over. I think he's going to be the one to take down Wells. We'll see how Wells is from the bottom, but Court McGee's heavy on top, man, and I can see him just grinding out these minutes. Now, the judges are not favoring the wrestling over the damage these days, so maybe if there's a case where there's close rounds in this fight where you get maybe 4 or 3.5 minutes of control from Court McGee, but Jeremiah Wells landed a really big shot in that minute that it was actually standing. I don't know. Maybe the judges favor the big shots. If he opens up a cut on Court McGee, I don't know, man. It's a tough fight. It's close. It's close. It's lined very closely for a good reason. I tend to lean with Court McGee here. I just like the experience. I think if you can extend Jeremiah Wells, that's a nice key to victory right there. Just don't get knocked out in the first round, and I think Court McGee becomes like a minus 150 to minus 200 if the fight gets out of the first round. But we'll see. Could be a nice live betting opportunity. I've been killing it on the live bets, man. Who did I win on in the live bets? I don't want to sit here and scroll back. I can't remember who I won the live bets on. It was some crazy shit too. Like these books and the judges do not line up at all. So if you guys ever see like a fight that you think is playing out very closely, could easily be 1-1, but one guy's like a minus 250 or a minus 300, take those underdogs, and long term I feel like you're gonna profit. It was Jocelyn Edwards, that's why I forgot, because that fight was fucking terrible. I live bet Jocelyn Edwards at minus 265 or plus 265. Some people got like plus 300. It was clearly 1-1 in that fight, man. And to see that number, I was just like, what the fuck? So, I mean, yeah, if y'all have never tried out live betting before, I highly recommend it. Sometimes you can see some real nice lines there. So, anyway, I don't know how I got on that subject. So, Court McGee, Jeremiah Wells, yeah, I'm going to say Court McGee takes over after the first round. 29-28 unanimous decision. Moving on to the next one. This is an underdog I took. I kind of briefly mentioned it. We got Natalia Silva. She's plus 190, so a little bit of money's coming in on Natalia Silva, including for myself. She's taking on Jasmine. Can never say this girl's last name. Jasudavicius. Jasudavicius. I don't know. I just can't do it. It's one of those ones I can't do it. Jasmine though. Man, I lost money fading Jasmine last fight on Kay Hansen. When you have a loss against Elise Reed in 2020, I'm going to fade you. It's as simple as that. If you have a loss against Elise Reed, come on. Now, granted, I do think she's improved for sure. She doesn't even have 10 pro fights yet. She's growing every time, and yeah, she's better than I thought. She's got wrestling, she's got boxing. However, minus 270, minus 260, whatever she is here against Natalia Silva. I don't know about that, man, because I kind of feel like, so Natalia Silva, if you don't know, this girl's an armbar phenom. We see these every once in a while, where these girls just fucking are nasty with those things. And sometimes people, a lot of the times, fighters will be able to negate that pretty easily, but just the way I see this fight going down, Jasmine does have those takedowns. I feel like she's probably going to try to take this girl down. And I mean, how many times have we seen an armbar from bottom in these low-level women's MMA fights, guys? And this girl's really good at it too. And here's another thing with Natalia Silva. She fought Marina Rodriguez 5 years ago when she was 20 years old, went the distance with her. I do have to say, though, she got the absolute shit kicked out of her. It was a bad look, but she was 20. Marina Rodriguez is going to fight for a title in the next year. She bounced back, has not lost since. Six straight wins. The most recent one being for the Jungle Fight Championship. She got the sub there in the 4th round. We've seen this girl in a 4th round, and the cardio looked good. The thing is, her last fight was in 2019, so 3 years ago when she was 22. Now she's 25. She looks more physically matured, like she's just got more mass to her. Like, I think if we saw the version of her that fought in 2019 at 125 pounds in the UFC, I'd think she's a little small, but I think she's putting on a little size, and you see stare downs today. Natalia Silva didn't look that much smaller at all. I thought Kay Hansen looked a little smaller. And I mean, Natalia Silva's got decent hands. I say decent for these standards, keep in mind. I see the striking being competitive. If Jasmine wins, I think it is going to be a lot of wrestling, but that armbar from bottom's in the back pocket, guys. I mean, don't be surprised if it happens. At plus 200, that's what I took the shot at. I put 2 units on Natalia Silva. Yeah, I can see her finishing this fight via sub. I can see her winning a decision in a competitive, close one. I mean, let me just say it one more time in case you didn't hear me the first few times. Jasmine lost to Elise Reed. End of story. So, moving on to the next one, we got Adrian Yanez taking on Tony Kelly. This one was interesting at the stare down. So Yanez minus 265, Tony Kelly plus 225. This is a banger. This is an absolute banger. Tony Kelly's been in a lot of bangers, man. Tony Kelly versus Kai Kamaka is literally like one of the most underrated fights over the last few years. I mean, the last one against Randy Costa just smoked him. Adrian Yanez, he's been in some insane wars too, like the Davy Grant fight. Man, this is going to be a fucking good one. I feel like these two are going to stand and bang for sure. Like, I mean, does either guy shoot? Let's look right now. Let's see. Has either of these guys landed takedowns in the UFC? Tony Kelly has not landed a takedown in the UFC. Adrian Yanez has not landed a takedown in the UFC. All right. I mean, pretty safe to say these guys are going to stand and bang, right? So, yeah, I kind of feel like Yanez has the better hands. He's just got the higher ceiling overall. It's just Tony Kelly is a tough motherfucker, and he's going to come at you, and he hits hard, and he can make this fight close. So, I mean, do you want to bet Yanez minus 265 in a close fight? I don't. If you want to, I understand. Like, he's a great prospect, and I think he has a much higher ceiling than Tony Kelly. Plus, it's fun to have money against asshole, but we don't bet emotionally over here. But speaking of emotional, Adrian Yanez looked a little emotional at weigh-ins there. Like, he was real pissed about something, and Tony Kelly was just kind of keeping his cool. I don't know, man. Sometimes when these guys act emotional at weigh-ins, like, I feel like more often than not, it kind of means something, and they lose. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the numbers at the top of my head, but I don't think anybody has those numbers. But I feel like most of the time, if somebody acts emotional at weigh-ins like that, it doesn't tend to go well. Unless you're Conor McGregor, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. It's a close banger, but give me Yanez. I understand the dog shot on Tony Kelly though. Moving on to the next one, we got Gregory Rodriguez taking on Julian Marquez. A lot of money coming in on the dog. Rodriguez now minus 173, Marquez plus 148. I was actually looking at a Rodriguez bet early in the week. I feel like he's a lot better than Marquez. My one worry, though, is Gregory Rodriguez's chin. Horrible look to get knocked out by Jordan Williams. He's just hittable in general. Julian Marquez, if he has some redeeming qualities, it's his power, it's his ability to come back in fights. This has all the makings of a big fucking disappointment, is what I'm trying to say here. It seems like Gregory Rodriguez should be a fire play in this spot, but don't be mad when he's whooping Marquez's ass and he gets knocked out in the third round. That's all I got to say. Pretty simple breakdown, but it is what it is. I mean, Gregory Rodriguez, I feel like he's the better striker, the better grappler. It's just he's less durable and Marquez can fucking crack. So it's a scary fight. It's a clear pass to me. I'm going to go with Rodriguez to win a decision, though, but I ain't going to be surprised if Marquez gets that knockout. Moving on to the next one, we got Damir Ismagulov. He's minus 173. He's taking on Guram Kute Toladze. He's plus 148. Big play here. I got 4.44 units on Damir Ismagulov at minus 148. I moved in at the right time. I got the best line possible. I'm real stoked about that. He's back to minus 173. Moved in at the right time. Now, is he going to cash me the bet? Sure damn hope so, but I'm going to tell you why I do think he's going to cash me the bet. Reason I took the bet in the first place is because I think we got some value here. So Damir Ismagulov is a guy I rate very highly. This guy's going to be competing against top 10 guys very, very, very soon. Super talented striker. He can wrestle as well. He's got the cardio. I mean, he's got really everything you want in a fighter, like, and really no holes. Like, I mean, you're really going to bring up how Rafael Alves hurt him in that fight? It's like, guys, Rafael Alves is a fucking madman. He's a beast. He said, I mean, you see that escape he had from bottom in that third round against Ismagulov and that athletic ass shit he pulled off. That was on the third fucking round, keep in mind. Alves is a monster. You saw what he did to Diakese, and then Diakese came back and got a win. So it's like that Diakese win aged very well. I'm a big fan of Rafael Alves. So the fact that he had some moments against Damir Ismagulov, I it doesn't drop my Ismagulov stock one damn bit. So I'm actually curious, who is Rafael Alves fighting next? He's fighting Drew Dober. That is a banger, man. How did I not know about that fight? That's next month too. Rafael Alves versus Drew Dober. Oh man, I'm excited for that one. But yeah, I kind of got off topic, but I mean, talking about his most recent opponent there in Alves, I thought it was a really good win. Moises is no slouch, completely handled him. Guram. So with this guy, he beat Mateus Gamrot in his UFC debut. I mean, I don't want to discredit the win, but it's definitely you got to bring up the facts, and if the facts like tell you a little bit more about the story, like it is what it is. Mateus Gamrot broke his hand in the first round, guys. Like, you're gonna tell me that didn't affect him? Of course it did. Not only that, I feel like you could still argue completely that Gamrot won that fight. I thought he won it live. Rewatching it, I was like, God damn, I don't know, but I feel like it could have gone either way. I mean, yeah, but I feel like if you match them up like 9 more times, I feel like Gamrot's getting 6 or 7. That's just my personal opinion. I kind of feel like Guram Kuta Taladze is, man, y'all gonna be mad at me. People have been getting mad at me all week, but I kind of feel like this guy is being slightly overrated because of that Gamrot win. But guys, I mean, it was low volume. Yes, he kicks hard. He's a good athlete. He's got physical attributes. He hits hard. I don't think he's, oh man, I hate to say this too, because I'm just a guy fucking sitting here recording a video, but I have to be honest, when he's fighting a guy like Ismagulov, like I just said, Ismagulov's a guy that's going to be fighting top 10 dudes. Like, I got to be real here. I don't see Guram Kuta Taladze as some elite striker. I feel like Damir Ismagulov is completely on a different level with the jab. I mean, both guys can kick for sure, but like the speed of Ismagulov, the precision, I mean, damn, this motherfucker's good. I love watching tape on Ismagulov. I don't know, man. Like, the thing with Kuta Taladze, like why he looked so good to some people in that fight. It was the handbrake from Gamrot, completely played a role. Gamrot was shooting some nice takedowns there, and Kuta Taladze was stuffing him. Clearly, he's got really good takedown defense. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know. I kind of feel like Ismagulov might even be a little bit of a step up. Like, this guy's tricky, man. This guy can wrestle, and he's deceptively strong too. Because you look at his frame, he doesn't look like a strong guy, but like, dude, this guy handles people. Oh man, I could talk about Ismagulov all day long. Like, he's super. I feel like he's underrated, even though I feel like majority of people consider him a top 15, top 20 fighter. I feel like that's not enough respect for him. Like, this guy's something. And Kuta Taladze, he's only in his second fight here, so I mean, if he comes in here and starts off his UFC career with a win over Gamrot and fucking Ismagulov, props to you, man. That's insane. But the thing is, I feel like he's got a lot more developing to do. Ismagulov's going to teach him a lesson here. He's going to give him a tour of the octagon. I feel like he can jab him up. He can land a lot more volume here. Don't get caught with something big. You should be fine. And if anybody's landing takedowns in this fight, it's also going to be Ismagulov. So give me Ismagulov by a 30-27 unanimous decision. Just don't get knocked out. Don't get hurt too bad. Don't let Guram sway the judges with big moments. Just do your thing. You should be fine. I like it a lot. Give me Ismagulov. So moving on to the next one, we got Joaquin Buckley versus Albert Duraev. Duraev's a pretty big favorite now. He's minus 237. Buckley plus 202. I mean, I like Duraev. I've liked Duraev ever since I found out about him for sure. Like he's a talented guy, good striker, good wrestling. He's Russian. We love that. Just not really sure how good he is yet. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like betting this fight, you're kind of playing the guessing game. With Joaquin Buckley, there's definitely good things and there's definitely bad things when it comes to his game. I'm not going to go completely in depth into it, but I mean, he can win this fight absolutely. I mean, he's pretty experienced in the UFC now at this point. He's diverse with his strikes. He's got power. He's got a wrestling background. He can go 3. I like Buckley. I mean, if I had to make a bet in this fight, I'd rather bet Buckley plus 202 than Duraev minus 237. So, yeah, I'll pick Duraev, though. I'll go with him by a 29-28 decision. But if you want to take that shot on Buckley, I don't hate it. Moving on to the next one. We got Kevin Holland. He's minus 305 taking on Tim Means plus 255. A lot of people surprised at this line. I'm not. I'll tell you why. I mean, Tim Means is the man. I got all the respect in the world for Tim Means. He's like, I mean, we're in a UFC now where there's tons of elite boxers, but back, I mean, you guys don't know, like back in the UFC like 7 years ago in like 2015, there wasn't a whole lot of elite boxers to talk about, and Tim Means was one of those guys. He's got very, very good hands. He's got a good frame for the division. He's super fucking tough. He's got a ground game too to go along with it. He just prefers to bang though. Thing is, like I just mentioned, like 7 years ago, he's been in the UFC way longer than that. I think Tim Means has been in the UFC for a decade now. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is a card of UFC nostalgia right here with the Donald Cerrone, the Joe Lozon, the Tim Means, the Court McGee, Eddie Wineland. Like, this ain't UFC Austin. This is UFC nostalgia. So yeah. But yeah, Tim Means, he's been around for a long fucking time, man, and taking on a guy in his prime here, and Kevin Holland, who now this will be his second fight in the UFC down at down at 170. Maybe he's a little bit more comfortable this time. The Cowboy Oliveira fight, a little sketch in the first round, but takes care of business in the second round. Holland's he's a very good finisher, man. Like by the time his UFC career ends, this guy's gonna have a lot of fucking finish wins, a lot of subs, a lot of KOs. On the feet here, I give Means the slight advantage when it comes to just pure skill, but Holland's the better athlete. He's the more powerful athlete. I can see him hurting Means for sure. Means wrestles sometimes. We know Holland's wrestling defense is not great, so that's an option for Means, but I mean, that's not his thing. Like, I'll be surprised if Tim Means comes out here and just wrestles his face off for 3 rounds. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think if he shoots enough takedowns, one of them is going to end up with Kevin Holland reversing him and getting on top. And Kevin Holland on top, I feel like that would not be good for Tim Means, for sure. So, and then on the feet, yeah, Tim Means probably wins the minutes, but Holland lands the more powerful shots. Yeah, if this fight was 1 round, I would favor Tim Means maybe, but 15 minutes for Holland to do his thing, find a finish along the way. I like him, so not crazy about playing him at minus 300, but I'm pretty happy about picking him here. So I'll say Holland gets a knockout in the second round. How did you do last week? I had a winning night, bro. I won my big bet on Weili Zhang. I also won my underdog bet on Kyung Ho Kang. And I lost 2 units on Glover inside the distance, but it was a winning night, man. It was good. And I won $1,700 on DraftKings. So, we like that. So moving on to the co-main event of the evening, we got Donald Cerrone. He's minus 158 taking on Joe Lozon plus 138. Banger. I mean, I've already broken down this fight on the channel, but hey, I'll do it again. I got enough respect for these guys. Yeah, I mean, Donald Cerrone, he's not the cowboy. He's not the cowboy anymore. Now he's Don. He's Don. He's good old Don, Grandpa Don. It's this might be his last fight, man. I mean, this might easily be a loser retires fight. I mean, the biggest factor for me is the fact that Donald Cerrone starts slow and finishes strong, whereas Joe Lozon starts strong and then tends to gas out. So that first round's going to be fucking hell on wheels. And I don't know if Donald Cerrone can take a hell on wheels fight anymore. I think Joe Lozon gets to him early. I think Joe Lozon knocks him out or drops him, follows up with a sub. Now, if that doesn't happen, if we reach the stools and we start up a second round, Joe Lozon's breathing a little hard. That's where you make your live bet on Cowboy Cerrone at dog money. Because, yeah, he'll probably take over, man. He'll start putting together those combos. I mean, as time goes on and he's able to eat some big shots, I'm sure that's going to raise his confidence. Like, yeah, I ain't about to get knocked out here. I ain't about to get smoked in the first round because, when Cowboy loses, that is how he loses. He gets smoked in the first round. So I think if we make it to a second round here, it's not just a cardio thing for Joe Lozon. And yeah, that is a big deal. It'll be a confidence thing for Donald Cerrone. So very interesting fight dynamic. I just think that first round is going to be too much for Donald to handle at this point in his career. And I'm going to go with Joe Lozon to win by first round finish. And I'm heavily considering betting him. Haven't done it yet, but we will see. Follow me on Twitter if you're not already. That's where I post all my bets as soon as I make them. So here we go. Main event of the evening, we got Calvin Kattar minus 250. He's taking on Josh Emmett plus 210. Yeah, this is a banger of a fight. I mean, I'll just say it right off the bat. It looks like this line is off, like plus 210. Come on now. Like, I get it. Calvin's an excellent boxer. He just took out a prospect in his last fight, but I mean, the thing with Giga Chikadze, I almost feel like Giga Chikadze got shot to the moon a little too quickly there and just was not ready for Kattar, whereas Josh Emmett's been in the UFC a lot longer. He's been in plenty of, I don't know about plenty, but he's been at least a couple main events, some big fights, some wars. He had surgery. He was off for a while. Luckily, he got that fight out of the way, though. So he came back and fought Ige. I mean, didn't look great, but first fight off of surgery, like, he's not the first guy to come off a surgery and not look like himself. I mean, one would think he's going to look a lot better here. And yeah, I understand he's 37 years old. He doesn't have that many fight miles, though. I feel like he can still make one more run at the title here. So, yeah, I mean, it's no mystery with Josh Emmett. The guy is super fucking powerful, and he's going to try to knock you out. He has a knockdown in every featherweight fight he's had in the UFC. The thing is here, though, like, Calvin Kattar's super durable. So it's like he kind of has to win rounds with big moments. I mean, the knockout's possible. Don't get me wrong. Like, Calvin Kattar ate, 400 or 500 shots against Max Holloway. Maybe his chin's gone. Giga Chikadze just wasn't able to capitalize. But, I take that back because Giga Chikadze actually landed 120-something strikes in that fight. So he was able to eat them. But Giga Chikadze doesn't hit like Josh Emmett. And who knows, man? Maybe that 500 strikes against Holloway and the 100-something against Giga, maybe that's the straw that broke the camel's back. And this is the time we see Calvin Kattar get knocked out because, I mean, there's definitely ingredients that would lead you to believe that's going to happen. All the damage he's been taking and who he's fighting. The hardest hitter in the 145-pound division, Josh Emmett. So, like, yeah, a knockout is possible. I kind of just talked myself into it. But, yeah, knockout's very possible. Winning rounds with big moments is very possible. Josh Emmett has a wrestling background. He's a strong dude. Maybe he seals the close round with a takedown. Like, these are a lot of reasons to believe plus 210 is off. Now, where I do agree with Calvin Kattar being lined the favorite, and I do think he should be the favorite. It's just, the volume and the hands. Like, he's a very good fucking boxer, man, and he's he came back from that Holloway fight like in very good spirits. I want to say it's probably not the right word, but like it was impressive for him to come back against Giga like that. Like, showed off some new tools in his arsenal, could take shots, looked like himself. That was a good win. He might even look better in this one. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of questions to be answered, and I'm just not sure. I tend to think Kattar deserves to be the favorite, but I also tend to think the line's very off. So plus 210, yeah. I mean, If you want to take that shot, I don't blame you. If you want to bet Kattar at minus 250, God damn, you better be confident. You better be confident. And I have a hard time being confident in Kattar in this spot. Just being real. That's how I feel. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna bet Emmett. I don't know, man. There's a lot of spots in this card, man. Like I almost just want to lose all discipline and make like 7 bets on this card and see how it goes, but don't want to do that. I want to narrow it down to my most confident spots. So yeah, I got the parlay with Dawkins and Haas, the parlay with Dawkins, Haas, and Stamen. I got the big play on Damir Ismagulov, and I got the 2-unit shot on Natalia Silva, plus 200. And spots I'm eyeing, I don't know, man. I'm kind of looking at Maria Oliveira at plus 245. Not a crazy high level fighter or anything, but low level women's MMA variants. Good line. I'm also looking at Joe Lozon, and I'm looking at Josh Emmett. So I already got 3 plays. I'm looking at 3 more. I doubt I'm going to have 6 plays, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Appreciate you guys hopping in this live chat. This was a fun show to do. Sorry it was so late. Just haven't really had the time. I like Emmett's leg kicks in this fight, and Wood is likely to swing it for him and open up his bombs. Yeah, that's a good point. Kattar relies on a more traditional boxing stance a lot of times. Yes, he did in a fight where, to back up your point, was that Hanato Moicano fight. God damn, he had no answer for the leg kicks in that fight. I kind of feel like he's cleaned it up a little bit, but you make an excellent point, sir. My boy Ohio State has Kattar by late finish or decision. I mean, if Kattar wins, yeah, that's probably how he's going to win, late finish or decision. One other thing to note, Kattar's been in the UFC. He's gone 5 rounds a few times now, whereas Josh Emmett, I think he's only gone 5 rounds once, and it was in the regionals like 8 years ago. So appreciate you guys. I think that's going to do it for me, man. Looking forward to next week with Gamera and Arman Sarukian. I'm going to tell y'all right now, since y'all are here and y'all are watching me right now, I'm going to say it. Arman Sarukian is going to destroy Gamera, bro. I do not see that fight going well for Gamera, and I think Arman Sarukian's the absolute truth. I love these lightweight prospects, man. Arman Sarukian and Damir Ismagulov, I feel like are the complete future of this division. Excited to see him in back-to-back weeks. What you got here? Holland over 2.5. Emmett Kattar. Oh, Holland with the Emmett Kattar over 2.5. I definitely like the Holland. The over is a little scary, man, because you are dealing with the hardest hitter in the division, and this could finally be the time where Kattar goes down. But I get it. I get it. Arman Sarukian is a future champ. I ain't going to argue with you one bit, man. I ain't going to argue with you at all. He's a serious dude. I can't wait to watch one day Arman Sarukian versus Damir Ismagulov for the title. And then you got guys like Islam Makhachev. Future 155 is looking great, guys. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me. Appreciate you all tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Follow me on Twitter at MMA Kelton. That's going to do it for me. Well, later, boys. See you next week.